Yes.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Yan. I hope you're doing well. I do genuinely hope that. Welcome to your night briefing. Chelsea news, that's right. Here again on Football Therapy with a bunch of stuff to discuss, really. We could talk about, is it Murillo from Nottingham Forest, centre back? Maybe a little bit of that. Omari Hutchinson looks like he could be returning to Ipswich Town on a permanent deal. And of course, David Ornstein, the big authority on transfers, has dropped a divisive story, certainly divisive on social media. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, the not-so-young midfielder, it's youngish, Chelsea have inquired about him. Again, not a high-profile sexy signing, but an integral player to Enzo's success, and we're going to get into that. Read the article, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Guys, also, this morning I did a bit of a longer form video on reacting also to an Athletic article on the Chelsea squad, the depth chart, as it were. Lots of exciting players coming through, and actually, really, on reflection, a really interesting and quite exciting story on the squad that Chelsea are trying to put together for the now and the future. So if you're yet to watch this morning's video, it's not a video that's like a Chelsea news where you have to be up to date and it becomes redundant very quickly. It will be valid for a long time, so please do go watch that video. And in the meantime, thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for liking, subscribing, supporting the content. It means a lot. I see your support, I feel it, and it feels good. So thank you for liking. If you choose to subscribe, hit that sweet bell, baby. Hell yeah. Alright, so we are looking at, look, it's on The Guardian, it's on other news websites, the Nottingham Forest defender Murillo. I wasn't necessarily going to talk about this, but he's obviously a young defender. He's 21 years old. He is a good centre-back. Should we have a look at him? Quick look at him. He's Brazilian. We love young Brazilians at Chelsea. Of course, he plays for Forest. He's played there one season, last season campaign. Looks good. Chelsea won. I mean, it's tough to get really excited about this guy. I'll be honest and tell you that I haven't looked too closely at his stats. If the story develops, here on the channel, we will do a deep dive into his stats and decide together how much we like him. I'm sure many of you have your own opinions already. But he doesn't turn me on too much off the bat, especially when it's saying we could be looking to send Trevoh Chalobah the other way. For me, I like Trevoh as a player. I'm sort of okay if he goes, okay if he stays. But in a make-weight deal for Murillo, it's not the most appetizing thing for me, and it does just stink of a PSR, pure profit maneuver. And eventually they will stop, by the way. I know Chelsea have still got good academy players, and if Chelsea can, bend the rules, and if this pure profit loophole continues, Chelsea will almost certainly continue to try and take advantage of it. But we'll put a pin in Murillo for the moment. He looks alright. He looks alright, mate. But if the story develops, we will follow it here on the channel. So this is an exclusive. Next up, Omari Hutchinson coming from Big Fab Rom, saying this: exclusive, Ipswich Town have opened negotiations with Chelsea to sign Omari Hutchinson on a permanent deal. German clubs were also keen, but Ipswich Town are now pushing after McKenna's decision to stay as a key factor. They hope to get it done, and talks are ongoing. Now, Omari Hutchinson is a baller. We signed him, of course. He was once we signed him from the Arsenal academy. He saw it as a positive move in his career to come to Chelsea, and you would have to say he was right, because even if he's not going to have a Chelsea career, coming to Chelsea saw us loan him to Ipswich. It was an excellent loan. He did incredibly well. He was, bedded into the team perfectly and won loads of man of the matches and, scored some great goals and liked the manager. And of course, Kieran McKenna has nailed his colours to the Ipswich mast, and he's staying, and he's like ridiculously, I don't know if you guys have seen, I swear he's like the 4th highest paid manager in the Premier League playing at Ipswich, which kind of makes me feel it's crazy. I wonder if there's a relegation clause in his contract. There must be. Of course, Man United and indeed Chelsea were looking at McKenna. So German clubs were interested in Omari Hutchinson, including Champions League. I believe Stuttgart was looking at him. Sebastian Ernest is Stuttgart, and they finished second in the Bundesliga last season, above little minnows Bayern Munich. So what an opportunity, from academy football at Arsenal to men's football at Championship, which is a high level, to winning the Ruddy League, lifting the trophy, having a great time and being one of the best young players in the league, to having all this opportunity, and to either going to play Champions League. It's a big step. Or just show what you can do in the Premier League. It's basically demonstrated that coming to Chelsea was an excellent move for the youngster. Now, many of you, well, not many of you, but a lot of you may think, oh man, he's a baller. But the truth is, guys, come on, let's just take a deep breath together. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to do it together. Ready? And release. Yes, we do have lots of right-sided, left-footed young attackers. You are right. We've got Noni Madueke, Cole Palmer, Angelo Gabriel, on the way, Esteval, Willian, Kendry Paez, and others as well. He'll be sold. Angelo will probably be sold as well, and it would represent good business. If Chelsea are really smart, and you'd like to hope they are, they've been trying to be all like the big boy traders. If they are really smart, they will put in a sell-on clause in Hutchinson contract, because he'll probably ball out in their prem, and then some big team will come along and pay 50 million quid for him. So put a sell-on clause in there, maybe a buyback clause, although again we just really don't need it, do we? Because we just don't need it. So, yeah, let me know what you think about Omari, and let's get to the big headline act. Ornstein writes, Chelsea contact Leicester City over Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. I always thought it was Dewsbury, but it's Dewsbury-Hall. What a crazy name. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Because you want to think it's Kieran and Dewsbury. Maybe it's just me that thinks Dewsbury, because I'm an idiot. Ornstein writes this. Chelsea have contacted Leicester City to express an interest in signing Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. No formal offer has been made for the 25-year-old. So he's not a 16-year-old South American, but he's also not old. He is believed to be keen only on a move to Stamford Bridge if he is to leave his boyhood club. I reckon if Real Madrid came knocking, he might consider it, but it's still nice to feel special. And of course, Chelsea's Chelsea. Leicester to Chelsea has been like a well-trodden path. We've had great players from them as well, like N'Golo Kante speaks for himself, footballing royalty. Champions League winner Ben Chilwell, really, really good. I yet to be proven. Wesley Fofana, superstar centre-back, of course, been unlucky with injury, but trust me, he's a great, great player. Danny Drinkwater, and just generally really good players, So it is a well-trodden path. But obviously, he's keen on the move, because it's Chelsea, it's Premier League, but Enzo Maresca in it, and we'll speak about that in a moment. His contract at the King Power runs until 2027, so he's got 2 years left. Dewsbury-Hall is seen as a perfect fit for the style of football Chelsea want to play under new head coach Enzo Maresca, who replaced Pochettino, of course, earlier in the summer. The pair worked together at Leicester last season as they secured promotion to the Premier League as winners of the Championship. Okay, I've embarrassed myself. I was talking about Ipswich winning the Premier League, but of course they didn't. They finished second. It's because I knew they got automatic promotion. That is a big blunder from me. Look, guys, I'm human, and you're probably thinking, don't worry about it, Jan. You rarely make mistakes when it comes to footballing knowledge. Thank you, that's kind of you to say so, but I really had a big blunder there. Oh, fortunately, I had the opportunity to correct myself. Here, there'll be some of you that have already commented down in the comments when I said that. Yannick, Ipswich didn't win the Championship, Leicester did. And then you'll be watching this now, possibly deleting your comments or leaving it there. Anyway, this is where we are. I've made a mistake. But yes, Dewsbury-Hall is the winner, not Omari Hutchinson. We're selling the guy who's not a winner. bringing in the winner. Well, and again, I'm going to tell you my opinion on this because I'm sure some of you are thinking, just probably outraged at the idea of signing this guy. He made 49 appearances in all competitions for the Midlands club last term, scoring 12 goals from midfield. Damn, that's good actually. As they returned to the top flight for the first time of asking. Brian have held talks over him, but a move never progressed. Well, it sounds like he doesn't want to go to anywhere else apart from Chelsea. Chelsea have an agreement in principle to sign young forward Mark Guiu. Of course, there's lots of stuff on the Barcelona striker. We've spoken about him quite a bit here, but there's loads of articles popping up everywhere across the interwebs talking about this kid. Go read up on him, by the way, if you're yet to do so, because he is very, very exciting. And interestingly enough, of course, we're close to completing the signing of defender Aaron Anselmino from Boca Juniors. I think that is going to be a Strasbourg loan. I think it's a signing for Chelsea, not for Blueco or Strasbourg. It's a signing for Chelsea, the young defender, but not to be in the first team next season. We will confirm that as and when the news is confirmed. All right, Dewsbury-Hall. How do we feel about Dewsbury-Hall, mate? Well, it's not very exciting, but I get it. Like, I get it, because we're becoming like this move for Enzo Maresca. It's more akin to Potter. It's less Tuchel. It's certainly less Pochettino, who want names and stuff. It's okay. It screams Moneyball, doesn't it? Like that sort of like way of playing, like. He gets on third base or whatever that comment is in Moneyball in the boardroom or the meeting room. Look, Goldberg, he tweeted this. Goldberg's, by the way, Alex is well informed. He says, Chelsea have appreciated Dewsbury-Hall well before they knew Maresca was coming in. And he's not a bad player. And, of course, he cooked for Maresca last season. But surely he has something to give. Of course, his position is logjam in this team. Is it really sensible? Well, this is my opinion, right? Firstly, I haven't watched a lot of him. I do listen to a sickening amount of football podcasts, and I've heard him referenced a lot. And indeed on YouTube, say, for example, by the Tifo football analyst Boffins, who I love. And Dewsbury-Hall, by all accounts, is an excellent player, or a very good player that performed to an excellent standard last season. He was an integral player in a league-winning team to play for the manager, who is now the Chelsea manager. Now, if he doesn't cost a lot of money, we are in Europe, and if we're gonna sell Conor Gallagher, and if we can't rely on we don't want to put all like the farm on the fitness of Romeo Lavia, who's played a total of 30 minutes for Chelsea, then maybe it's the way to go. So what midfield? So Cesare Casadei, we spoke about him into this morning's video. Again, urge you to go and watch it if you had to watch it. Casadei's probably not going to, even though he was utilised by Maresca last season, probably not this season. I think Carney Chukwuemeka, though I'm a huge fan of his, I think probably a loan might be good for him. So that's those two. And then who have you got left? You've got the two big boys, Maresca, Enzo Fernandez, and Moises Caicedo. They're not going anywhere, so there are your two solids. But you need at the best of times 4 midfielders, maybe even if you're not in Europe, and of course we are now in Europe. So Lavia, do you go with Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia, and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall? 4 players to play in that system, and of course you have a more like an offensive number, like that's going to be more like a Cole Palmer in the system, which is a weird hybrid system. But as we get closer and watch some Enzo Maresca games and lineups, we can learn it very quickly how we're going to play underneath them. Do you know what I mean? How do I feel about it? I don't feel bad, I guess. I'm trying to think, like, because, you know, the main frustration with these, like, unsexy names being signed for Chelsea in certain positions is, we need... Okay, so, like, for example, a lot of people are frustrated, and at Mark Gue signing. I don't know why they should be, because he cost £5 million and he's a young lad. But, you know, they want the Osimhens or the Victor Gyökereses. Do you know what I mean? These like high-profile strikers. And I get that. You know, I get it. You feel like it's a big boy position. You want a big boy profile. I don't necessarily agree entirely, but I understand people's opinion there. But the truth is, in midfield, we've got the big boy names. Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winner, the best young player of the World Cup. You know, Moises Caicedo, Liverpool had a £111 million bid accepted for. These are serious players, you know? These are serious players. They're high-profile, serious players. Romeo Lavia is meant, you know, Joe Shields, superstar guy. He's meant to be amazing, you know, and he did well with Cole Palmer, so he's got my vote for the moment. I don't feel like, we need to bring in a really high-profile, Galactico, expensive midfielder. I don't feel like that. So, if the manager in Enzo Maresca has been tasked by his Chelsea ownership and sporting directors, you've got to finish in the Champions League, mate. Because that's what they're saying, right? They're saying top 4, which I still sort of balk at. I think it's really bold considering the manager's experience. I feel pretty I feel like hopeful for Maresca, but considering his experience and considering the current landscape with the Premier League, that is like jump up that mountain. Still, if that is truly what he's got to do, you've got to go and get top 4, then he's got to look at why he won the league last season with Leicester and how he plays. And if he thinks, okay, I can do this with Chelsea, Enzo could probably do that because I said he would do that. But you know what? If you could bring me in one player from Leicester that's going to make me play my football quicker, even in the initial phases, you know, and if Dewsbury-Hall isn't the Galactico player and becomes the Conference League version, great. But for the moment, because he knows exactly how to play, this is the player that's going to kickstart Chelsea into Maresca ball or whatever. And if we can get him for X amount of money, because Leicester, aren't they in financial trouble? If you like wave 20 million quid in front, he must be a pure profit asset for Leicester if he's this boyhood club as well. Oh. Something to think about. I don't hate it, man. If it makes the manager happy and it's going to make us better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've made my position clear. I want to keep Conor Gallagher. I don't want him to be sold, but I've also made my position clear in I don't necessarily see Conor Gallagher as a starter for Chelsea in the long term if we're going to play a certain way. I just don't. It doesn't mean I want him to go, because I still think he'll start some games, and I think he's such a useful asset off the bench. But if he's too valuable in terms of selling money, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't get wound up by these things anymore. Ultimately, if the gaffer wants him and he's not going to cost a lot of money, then it could be a great signing. But I know it's not a sexy FIFA signing, and that will upset people. Let me know what you think, though. As always, comment down below. It's important to hear what the community thinks on these things, and I want to hear what you, man, are saying about Dewsbury-Hall, Ballon d'Or winner, 2026. See you in the next one.